Do you think it's reasonable in the modern era to build and live in a shed somewhere in the middle of the woods while retaining a level of self-sufficiency, much in the same vein of Henry David Thoreau, pick related? Do you think I could dodge taxation if I built in a remote enough location? No, it's no longer reasonable. Even Thoreau was living on land owned by his buddy Ralph Waldo Emerson. To own that much land to the point where nobody is going to bother you and you'll have the game/fish/water etc. that you need would be very expensive. And you can certainly not dodge taxation if you own that kind of land. Also, Walden was a pretty boring book. I did enjoy the overall story and theme, but sometimes it was mind-numbingly difficult to get through. No, the government will use GIS and satellites to find your Ted shed and tax you. Holy crap, I wish all of you silly heads would drop this Innowoods fantasy. Maybe 5% of the people on this site who romanticize it would actually be successfully. The heckin' bugs alone would drive you insane. And you all think you can just figure it out by reading whatever hunting and game dressing books you torrented, having never actually prepped anything. Read Growth of the Soil by Knut Hamsun. The only way to know is trying. It's probably the worst method available for the lifestyle you seek, and no, you couldn't dodge taxation. Try it, you won't. Seriously, I spent 7 months hiking the Appalachian Trail and pooping up a crappy tent in the middle of nowhere in the woods each night, and it was a great time so long as you have food taken care of and a reliable source of water with a cheap filtration device. You're good. If you're worried about goy slop, purify the water the old-fashioned way. Water filters, you're worrying about microplastics and possibly more. Tabs are probably a lot worse in a more long-term situation because of the long-term chemical exposure. What taxes though? There are a lot of states with no property tax, and if he has no income and survives off of subsistence farming and barter, it would be very difficult for the IRS to even come up with a quantifiable number to tax. On top of that, if he obviously has no assets or money except some remote low-value land and a note to Code Shack, then the IRS would most likely pass over him in favor of bigger fish. Unless he was dumb enough to be politically active and make himself a target, of course. I think this is somewhat possible in parts of Alaska or Canada or something. Being a homeowner in Alaska and over the age of 65, you're likely to get a property tax exemption on the first $150,000 of your home's value. Ignore demoralizing FUD implying you can't learn to live another lifestyle and enjoy it. And must remain dependent on the sick systems which support city life and cause mental illnesses. There are ways to offset taxation, and the rural lifestyle doesn't require hunting, fishing, and commercial farming in this day and age. It's desirable to at least own land and reasonable to expect increasing profit over time if managed well and with adaptability. Personally, it's a necessity to guarantee produce enough to sustain myself and my family. And having family, this is not an endeavor I need to undertake alone. In fact, family is the primary motivation for me. LOL, calm down. I already live in a woods and homestead a bunch of laying hens and grow tons of potatoes. People need to shut the heck up and stop commenting on stuff they know nothing about. Living off grid is impossible. Go with filters 100%. Tabs just remove pathogens but not all the dirt and other crap in your water. I can't really think of an application for tabs given each filter is efficient up to many gallons and you can order a bunch for cheap. The stuff that's really gone up are tools like silky saws. I bought mine pre-Rona and they're like 5x now.